This is a bit of an exercise that I wanted to share that is all about helping you to raise your, your vibration or the state you're in before you go ahead and take some actions, particularly those actions that you're hoping are going to move you towards the goal or the result or particular thing that you actually want to achieve. So I like it to think about if you've ever played sports, whether you're part of a sporting team, and often what do? Maybe the night before the big match or just previously, you're actually all together and you're revving yourself up and getting into this great state, ready to take on that game and have a great time and, hopefully turn that into a win. We want to apply that same kind of thinking and that raising that state and that vibration before we go ahead and take any of these types of actions. Because let me put it in some context. Our thoughts will give rise to feelings. And then those feelings are going to affect the kind of state we're in. Are we in a kind of a low negative vibration because of the type of thoughts we're thinking? And so maybe it creates a feeling of, disheartened, and that's not going to work, what's the point, those types of things. Or are we in a complete kind of opposite state where we're pumped up and it's actually, we're really excited about what's going to happen and what these actions could deliver? And all of that can kind of be summed up in terms of your attitude. And all of that kind of approach and attitude and feelings is going to affect the way you take action and the impact that that action actually has on the results that you're hoping to achieve or to create for yourself. So make no mistake, your attitude has a massive, massive, massive impact on the results that you get in your life in any particular activities. So what you want to do is get used to checking in with how you're feeling. And then working through this exercise to make sure that you're not in one of these kind of lower states of vibration, because then the action you're taking is not really going to get you the result that you want. And hey, we've all got plenty going on in our lives. We want to actually be making sure that we are using our time in a most productive and effective way. And so therefore we want those actions to be as effective as possible in what we're doing. So maybe perhaps think about, maybe if you're in sales or something like that, or in your own business, what are those kind of feelings that you want to be in before you're doing something like calling a customer? Or maybe you are applying for a job and you want to start to think about what do you need to be saying to yourself? How do you want to be feeling before you're taking that action so you're absolutely putting your best foot forward and aligning with that outcome that you want to achieve. So I've got a little bit of an exercise for you to do to help you get into the best state possible before you actually get started. And this is something I like to use before certain activities. And so there are 7 key elements to this. So the first one is to check in with how you are feeling. And it's about getting used to checking in and understanding what that feeling is. And I actually Googled words for emotions so that I could kind of broaden my range of what those emotional words were to start to really understand how I'm feeling. The second bit that you want to do then is to then say, well, based on that feeling, what am I thinking about this particular thing? So if maybe you're, in sales and you're about to ring a customer, maybe this customer hasn't bought from you for a long time, maybe doesn't return your calls, what it is, you may be thinking things like, what's the point? I'm just doing this because I need to tick something off. They probably won't call me back. They might not even answer. All of those types of things. And what you want to do is get all of this out of your head and anything that's associated with that feeling and get it down on paper. And then once you've got it on paper, I want you to ask yourself this question. Are these thoughts that I'm thinking and the way I'm feeling about this particular thing or activity that I'm about to do, is this going to get me closer to the result I want or not? And I'd be kind of surprised if you're in that negative kind of vibe, something doesn't feel quite right, a bit defeated, disheartened before you've even started. The answer is going to be a resounding no to that. And so that's where we get that out and we go, okay, what am I going to do about it? So the first thing you want to do is actually take that bit of paper, where you've written that all down, you've got it out of yourself now, right? You can be objective about it. I want you to take that bit of paper and rip it to shreds. And as you're doing it, going, this is it, I'm done with this, I've had enough of these kind of thoughts and feelings, they're gone. They are now out of me and they are gone for good. So you're actually putting that away from you now and creating space to make a change. And then what I want you to do now is to sit down and write what are the most empowering thoughts that you can have about that situation. So maybe this customer who often doesn't return your call, today is the perfect timing and they're ready to take your call. In fact, they've been thinking about you for a bit because there's something you've got that they need. And maybe all the times in the past they didn't, but right now they do. And there's something that you can learn from that or whatever it is. But think about all those different empowering thoughts that you can have about that particular situation. And then I want you to read it out loud. Read it over and over again and read it out loud until you can feel that your emotional state has changed. It's like playing that song, Eye of the Tiger is usually a great one before people are going out in the footy field. It's like your Eye of the Tiger song, right? So that reading this particular, these empowering thoughts you've just written out is going to raise your vibration. And you want to keep reading it until you feel that your state has lifted. And then now take the action. And actually observe and measure and see what difference you're actually getting based on the outcomes from those actions you're taking when you've taken the time to actually check in with yourself and see what state you're in and making a change to that, if it's not a great one, before you actually go and take action. I bet your results get better.